guys. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you how I choose which flank I want to go on. So we are playing the Object 430U, and we are on Serene Coast. Now, on Serene Coast, I believe that the way to win this map is to push C1 very aggressively from either side. That's how I feel that this map should be played. That's the best way to win. I feel like 9 times out of 10, if your team pushes C1 really aggressively and your TDs hold the other flank, then you're going to win. But in this battle, I'm looking at the relative team lineups, and I see we've got an ST2, they've got a T125, they've got an Udez, they've got a Striv, we have a Jagdpanzer. I'm looking, we've got a Leo who's not a great player. I'm not really confident in my team's ability to push to C1 and win, and especially because there's 2 artillery as well. I don't think that pushing C1, we're going to win that engagement. I just don't think I'm going to be able to carry that fight. So instead, I decide to push the east flank, which is something I typically don't do because I feel like it's too slow. You tend to get bogged down, and you're just not able to actually push through fast enough to win the battle. But you'll see here that their AMX-30 is actually just like YOLOing through the open. So I just put a snapshot into him there. Luckily, that actually connects. I didn't think that it was actually the best aim shot on my part, but RNG was favorable, and you can see he actually flips himself. So I put another shot into him right there, and arguably this is actually a mistake on my part because I am spotted obviously from shooting at him, and they have 2 artillery, so if their artillery was aiming my direction, I could be getting hit by artillery right now. But luckily for me, I don't take any hits by artillery, and I can just farm this guy for his hit points. And besides the fact that he was a bad driver and flipped himself, I have no idea what that guy was thinking by YOLOing down the middle, in a paper thin medium tank. Like, even if you're trying to scout, that's not how you scout on this map. So he goes down. Had I known that was going to happen, I might have gone to C1 anyway. But we're over here now, so I'm committed to this flank. So initially, my thinking is I want to kind of play over here. If I can get out to this spit here, I can kind of play hold down and poke, but their Centurion has already moved up, so I don't really want to cross in front of them and risk getting tracked, as I drive by him. So I stop instead, and I see they've got a Mutz over on the left flank as well, who is a much easier target, especially since he's not a very good player, based on what X3M is telling me there. So I decided, let's try and pick this guy off, and then we can surround the remaining tanks. And their E5 also gets spotted there, so it's 2 versus 3 right now because some of our tanks are not quite in the fight yet. So I'm just pulling up behind the rock here, looking for an angle in the Mutz. Put one into his turret, goes in, no problem. Back down. Artillery has been shooting at the ST2, so just being cognizant of already looking at this flank as well. Reverse, fire one into him, side scraping there. He has no chance of penning me with AP there. 430 or 416 moves forward, puts a shot into the Centurion, so I can put one in without taking a return fire. Leo just kind of drives up, he puts one in as well, so I put one in. Leo takes a hit, kind of ramps it to me as he's retreating there. And now I'm going to finish off the Centurion here. And you can see right here, I was aiming at his upper plate, and I hesitated for a second because the pen indicator was orange, so it wasn't guaranteed to go through. So I took a moment just to readjust my aim and fire one into his lower plate, and I took a hit from him for waiting, but it was worth it just to make sure that I was going to pen, and because if I didn't pen and I bounced, he probably would have been able to put another one into me by the time I had reloaded, and then I would have taken even more damage. So move up there, take a look through the bushes there, see if I can see anything. Can't see anything, so we're going to continue moving forward here with this Leo. They have quite a few tanks that are unspotted, so I don't know where they are. I assume that they're probably pushing the west side of the map down the 1 line, so we'll figure that out here in a second. So I'm moving up, and I'm going to poke through this gap here on the left because there's bushes here, so I can use this to kind of spot and see what's going on in front of me here. So I move up to the bush here, and I see, or I don't spot that guy, the Leo does, but I see their Udez, their tier 10 Udez is moving across the open there, but he's holding on it. I don't have a shot on them. And they also have a Wheezy TD, the tier 8 tank destroyer, and then the Striv gets lit as well, and this Leo is just like YOLOing through the open. He gets farmed by these guys as he's driving through the open. So at this point, I decide, yeah, I can't push this at all. They've got these 3 tanks that are hold down back here. The Oods and the Striv alone, like, there's no chance I can do anything for these guys, because I'm not gonna be able to shoot them really at all, because they're hold down. I can't push them because this charioteer here will shoot me in the side if I try to push these guys, and there's just no way I'm gonna win that fight. So I'm running away. I'm telling my Striv to fall back. He's not listening. He's just driving up brainlessly, and he gets himself killed, because that angle of approach is just not going to work for our team. We can't push through there. Even the ST2 with all his armor, it's not a good play to try and push them when they're dug in at A7 back there. It's a strong defensive position, so that's not going to work. So I'm going somewhere else, trying to look for different opportunities. And right here, Barask is driving through the open. Snap a shot, track him. He repairs. There's Centurion 7-1s over there as well. I'm wiggling my hull, angling. He bounces me. Get safe behind the building there. Barask makes a huge mistake just driving out through the open again. I put a big high roll into him there. 513. He's trying to escape over the tracks. I'm looking to see if I can pick him off, but he's safe before I reload in time. So no idea what that guy was thinking, why he just drove out through the open like that. He could have stayed safe behind that building. As we were discussing in the previous video, use the terrain, use the objects in the building to cover you when you're trying to retreat. And instead of him just driving straight backwards from that building where he's safe, he decided to kind of swerve out into the open where I could put another round into him. Big mistake on his part. Centurion as well. He's just driving through the open. I guess maybe he was getting shot by the standard B, so he wanted to run away, but big mistake. So right there, I get unlucky with that shot not going where I was aiming. Charioteer bounces me as well, so I don't take any damage. And right here, I'm looking at what's going on the map. You can see me zooming out so I can get a better view of everything that's going on in the battle here, and I'm debating in my head what I want to make as my next move. Do I want to try and go back to the north and push now that their Udez is actually engaged our team directly? Do I want to try and re-challenge them, or do I want to go somewhere else? So right now, I'm kind of, you'll see me driving back and forth a little bit because I haven't quite made up my mind about what I want to do here. Uds takes a big hit, so I'm thinking, oh, I can go pick him off maybe. Then he gets killed by the artillery. Charioteer also gets killed by the T-32, so I decide, no, I still don't want to push that side because the TDs are still probably sitting at A7, so I don't want to go over there and try and dig them out. It's probably not going to work. And I see that their T-32 is now down, exposed in the low ground, and I see the Barask is coming in. He's trying to kill our standard B, so I'm running in there. He's going to take 2 hits, but I managed to pick up the kill here on the Barask after he dumps his clip. And then the T-95 kills the standard B. And right here, again, make a big mistake. I was lit after killing the Barask, and the last spotted location for that RHM was right here. So if I had been paying closer attention, I would have known, oh wait, I don't want to drive through the open here because I'm spotted and the RHM is going to have a shot on me. And he puts one into me. So what I actually needed to do here was I needed to drive on this side of the rock. Ideally, just wait till I was delit completely and then make this play and drive behind this rock here, not driving like this, so I wouldn't have taken that hit. Because, especially with TDs, he didn't have the biggest alpha gun. But if he did, I could have been lit on fire there, and that could have been game over for me right there. So, little mistakes like that can make the difference between win and loss, because this is still a pretty close game. We're winning up 1 tank, and we're up 2,000 hit points. But this, if I had died, it would have been basically even. So that would have been probably a loss if I had died right there. So you got to be careful to minimize those kind of mistakes. So now the T-95, he gets spotted, looking for a shot on him here. He's engaged with the SU and the Jagdpanzer in front of him, so I'm going to take my time, aim this shot in on this side, put one into him. Reloading heat now because it's a T-95, and even AP is going to, could bounce off his side armor. So I want to be able to reliably penetrate him. So heat loaded, moving up, trying to flank him here. SU takes a big hit, and then the Jagdpanzer puts in a huge hit on him. And then Artie says he's attacking him as well. Artie picks him off. He's dead now. So now I can continue moving up. And at this point, I actually load high explosive because I'm thinking I'm probably going to encounter the RHM, or maybe I'll encounter artillery. And so I'm driving up here. And I think in a second you actually might see the tracer, if I recall correctly. Um, yeah, right there. You can, if you caught that, you can see the artillery just fired. You can see the tracer go through the air. It looked like he was actually aiming at our artillery to counter battery. So I've got high explosive loaded. Move up here to try and get him. He's running away. I spot him, fire one, take him out very easily, and I don't even get spotted there. Actually, the bush between us actually seemed to cover us, so um, they don't know that I'm actually here. But just precautionary, I'm still just kind of backing down and instinctively, um, in case he's pinging my position, and then people try and blind fire me or something. So I'm going to continue moving up here. Still have high explosive loaded because I'm assuming that the RHM is going to be the next tank that I encounter, or alternatively, I might encounter the other artillery. So I want to be able to just get a high roll with HE if I can't take him out in one hit. Spot the M53 there. Right here, I make a mistake. I auto aim. Auto aim fire. It goes into his tracks. Doesn't kill him in one hit. So obviously, right there, I should have actually taken the time to aim him. But I was just trying to snap it quickly. And right there, I'm not quite sure what happened there. I guess I didn't aim it correctly, or the texturing was a little bit off, or my aim was a little bit jerky. Just missed completely. But artillery picks up the kill there. Still with high explosive loaded because I'm thinking I'm gonna encounter the RHM now. Just waiting until I get D-lit here so he doesn't see me coming. Drive down into the low ground here. Get spotted, so I assume he's in the bush in front of me. And I actually misangle. I over-angle my tank there. That was a big mistake, and I actually run into the Wheezy, not the RHM. So I start backing down. But if you rewatch that, you'll see I was way too angled coming into that bush. Reload heat, take him out as he YOLOs me. Spot the RHM. He's over on my right flank now. So now I can go back to high explosives because I can pen him easy with HE, and it's going to do way more damage. At this point, it's just a Striv left alive and the RHM, the last tanks. So just clean up at this point in time. So looking for him. I see the Striv over there. He's like 60 HP. See the RHM. Aim the shot in on him. Get a decent roll, 550, and then already picks up the kill. And that's the game. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of how you can read the relative tank lineups to decide where you want to go. As I explained, I like to go to C1. I chose not to this battle because of the reasons I outlined, the artillery and the fact that their top tier medium tank was an Udez, which is a much better tank to be playing C1 because he's got a lot of gun depression, and it's difficult for me to pen him. He'll have a much easier time hitting my lower plate because I have to really overexpose. So I decided to go east flank instead, and it worked out. It was a reasonably close battle, but we managed to pull it off. Yeah. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
I don't know what you want. Let's have